In Northeast Florida, there's a good look at TIAA Bank Field. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Green Bay Packers and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Come on, set. 60 or. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Hey, Alpha. 2.
Off play action. Darling. Got his man complete over the middle. It's McCormick. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
That's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Now a handoff here to his running back. And oh, right away, he lost the football. And the Jags grab it. And a loose football. But it looked like a Packer. Yeah, a Packer was able to get this back, and they'll indeed keep possession. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
10 logo.
To throw on 2nd down. Darling, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Josh Allen in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's going to go down again. Miles Jack with a sack. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
The Jaguars take over 1st and 10 at their own 16-yard line.
Set, ready. Feet on the base. Pass him. That's
They'll throw on 1st down to Jackson. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line.
We talked about prior to the game, and it played out right there on the first play, didn't it? This offensive line is going to have his hands full all night long.
Now, you often speak of scripts to start a game. Does this mean that play number 2, they're going to go off the script a little bit?
Yeah, what's interesting is that most people, when they script now, they actually script those contingencies in, okay, in case they can't run the play they want to. It's long distance now. Let's go to that play.
Another try after the 1st down sack. Jackson. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. Well, certainly not how he wanted to start his night. First throw of the game, an INT.
Yeah, it's not easy, but he's got to try and wipe that one away from the memory banks. And let's face it, it's not often a quarterback and a defensive back have a lot in common. But one thing, because they have these individual type plays, they've got to have short memories, don't they? DB gets beat, wipe it away, quarterback throws a pick, has to do the same thing.
5 yards, a good run there, and now 2nd and goal.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
2nd and 2. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus. And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Now Jackson, the open man is sharp. It's complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. This quarterback now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
2nd and 12 at the 24-yard line.
Come on, set. 160 yards. 22 the mic. Check the outs. Check the outs. Check the outs. Sponge. 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 No. Watch out. Watch out. Watch out. Huh. Check. 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 Hatch it. Hatch it.
On 2nd down now, it's Lucas. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the 3rd down stop.
Even, 4 down, even. 50's the mark. 22, jet, 22.
They snap it at 1. Now it's Jackson. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those divisions. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. The 30. 10. Touchdown, Packers. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, 78 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
The Jaguars take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now it's Jackson. And he is going to go down. They sack him on the final play of the first quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Instead, they go empty backfield as they'll look to throw. Looking left side, that's complete to Oliver. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion.
1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Ready? Hey, hold on. Mike, 53. Mike, 53. Nice, sweetheart. Mike, 53. 53. Mike. Watch the curl. Watch the curl.
From the gun, it's Jackson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Oliver. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
I hope you brought your lunch because I'm about to take you to school. Sweet. Crunch. 53 is the mic. 53 is the mic. I got him.
Jackson. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. Rashawn Gary has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance. Check 25.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up fourth. And the Jaguars send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the second time. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do...
And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Packers. A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Packers are able to strike quickly for 6.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Let's go. Do it.
The Jaguars take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
At the 26-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10.
Let them know, let them know. Check 3, check 3. Back, up. Switch.
Now a give right side. It's Lucas, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
On the double. 50, Mike's 50. Time to go, night. Man left. 4 down. Check. 4 down. Set up.
From the gun, Jackson. That one complete. He finds Shark. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. And the Jaguars send out their punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow.
The Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 16-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. 2nd and 10. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or 2 in and bats it away.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Any day. Hey, boy. Yep. Back against the mic. Watch the screen. Pass. Switch. There you go. Deep grip.
From the gun, Darling. And that will be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
It's 4th down.
on is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Take it at the 37. Two minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0.
Here we go.
Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Here's Jackson to throw. Throw left side complete. It's Oliver. That one goes for 24 yards.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
On second down, it's Lucas. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. And now we'll get a timeout. Looks like we've got a Jaguar in some discomfort down there on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back.
Let's get it. Here we go. 15 running. 15 running. Delta, Delta. 53's the mark. 53. Check 53. Know your job. Let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. No chance. Mike. Put up. 50.
On third down, Jackson. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Josh Oliver, his second touchdown on the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup. That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Five.
To throw again. Darling. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Josh Allen has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Here we go. 30 base. Save. Leo. Go.
On third down, Overton, and he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40.
At their own 36
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A running play here on first down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Ready, ready. 10, Tuscan. Check, 53's Mike.
Jackson. And that one almost intercepted. Call it a 50-50 ball. It falls incomplete, and now 3rd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you. Let's go, let's go. Right, go, 53, let it go.
Jackson from the shotgun. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville. So we've come to halftime here with the visiting Packers out on top. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. To throw is Jackson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Kevin King with a pick. And they will finally get to him, but a great return has set him up 1st and goal at the 5. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get a touchdown, he won't just get teased. They'll be glaring at him. How'd you not score?
And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Looking to throw. Darling. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And his guys capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. It's just
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
After the sack on first down, Jackson. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Got it. Hey, Delta. Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense. 58, come on. 58, come on. Let's set a touchdown.
On first and 10, Darling. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. A 24-yard touchdown. And his guys capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6.
Here we go, here we go.
A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
Jaguars take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Yeah, that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. So the delay of game penalty moves it back 5. That makes it 2nd and 10. Jackson now. From the gun, he'll throw. And this one into the hands of DJ Shark. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Jackson. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Give him the 3rd down conversion. 5 yards on the play. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Johnson on the counter. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Jackson now. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Rashawn Gary in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position, because anyone could go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've all absorbed their lessons.
Defense wins championships, baby. 44's the mic. 44's the mic. 3 bucks, go.
Off the play fake. Darling. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Operating from the gun. Darling. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle.
58, Mike. I got one. 58, come on.
Back to throw. Darling. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, Darling. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Here's J.K. Scott now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. Back now in Jacksonville. It's Jaguar football, but a little work to do for them. They trail here as we start the 4th. From midfield now, here's Jackson. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Jackson throwing again. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 45. 20. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Watch the ship. Check.
They'll run on first down. Overton. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And the Jags grab it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me, because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over.
And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Rashawn Gary racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. They'll run it with Johnson. And he's upended at the 6 as they double their room to maneuver on a pickup of 3. Not the start to the drive they were hoping for. That run doesn't get them much at all.
No, not at all. And that leaves them with 3rd and long, which means you got to dial up something pretty good. Think your best player with a play that he likes to run best.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12.
Check 53 is Mike. Blue down. 53 is the Mike. 53 is the Mike.
Play action. Now Jackson. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
And this will be down by a member of the kicking team just outside of the 30-yard line.
At their own 31-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And so close to hitting pay dirt last time, fumbling down near the goal line. Now, how does that affect their psyche this time around?
It's a tester, that's for sure, because to be that close and come away with no points is really...
There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Packers. A great play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Now it's Jackson. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
The Jaguars on third down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd and 7.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Mike.
Throwing is Jackson. And that is incomplete. Kevin King, the former Washington Husky, there defensively. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me lift the thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says? Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
Check 37. Check 37. Shift. Watch the shift.
Now. Right back to him on 1st down. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
2nd and 12 at the 50-yard line.
Let's go. 18 Gator. Come on. You better bring it.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away.
You got tight right there. Look, squeeze. Get it.
On 2nd down now, Overton. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave them with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the 1st down marker is here on 3rd.
Joker. Let's go.
They'll try the left side. Overton. He needed 9. He got 8. And that's going to leave them with a 4th and 1 on their side of the field. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the 1st down. Close it out.
This will be taken in at the 1. And some good coverage there by the kick team as they'll bring him down at the 16-yard line.
The Jaguars take over 1st and 10 at their own 16-yard line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yes.
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Rashawn Gary, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. On second down, Johnson. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on third down.
Brings up third down.
Now Jackson operating from the gun. And the throw there going to be incomplete. It just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
At their own 48-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
So it's all over. A Green Bay victory, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for the Packers, the win here means it'll be a 7-1 first half of the season. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Big D to take on the Cowboys. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, they drop back to 500 now at 4 up and 4 down. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to Houston to take on